What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lizelle. So for today's video, I am celebrating 1 year of having my braces off. Now, those of you guys who have kept up with me for a while now would know all about my braces journey. However, if you are just stumbling upon this video, or if you're new to my channel, I'll give you a quick rundown on that. So 1 year ago, I got my braces off after having them on for about 3 years, and I did actually document the entire journey. I have a whole braces journey playlist. I'll leave that linked somewhere on the screen and also down in the description box if you're interested. But yes, I did document the entire experience, and I brought you guys along with me to also help out other people who may be going through the same situation of either getting braces or having braces, and whether you needed advice or you just wanted to find other people who were going through the same thing. My braces videos kind of built a community. I mean, still to this day, I get comments and questions on any one of those videos, so I figured that I would sit down and talk to you guys about how it feels after 1 year of having them off. As I said, I do still get a ton of questions regarding braces, whether it be the before, during, or after. I still get questions every single day about braces, and even though I don't have them anymore, I'm still here for you guys to encourage you and also give you guys advice when it comes to them. So before I really jump into things, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new, you know what to do. Join the crew by hitting the little red subscribe button down below and click the bell as well so you don't miss any more videos that I post. So as I said, it has been 1 year since I got my braces off, although that is partially true because I did get my tops off first in October of last year, and then I got my bottoms off in January of this year. For the most part, I would just classify it as that I've had them off for a year now. So first things first, how does it feel for me after having my braces off for an entire year? Now, the thing that's really strange about getting your braces off is that you really do return to like normal after getting them off. I mean, I don't really remember what it feels like to have them in my mouth, whereas when you get your braces on, it does take some time to get used to, but when you take them off, there is none of that feeling, at least for me. One thing that I do remember is the fact that I felt like I had a little bit of a lisp after getting them off. I don't think I really talk like that anymore, but it did kind of take some getting used to talk without the braces in. But a year after the fact, I feel like I talk normal, I can eat normal, everything feels completely normal, and honestly, I don't remember what it feels like to have them in. Now, one question that I do get asked a lot is, have my teeth moved since getting my braces off? For me personally, I have noticed a little bit of slight movement. I will admit to that, especially in the spots in my mouth where I got teeth removed. If you guys weren't aware, I did get 4 teeth removed prior to getting my braces on, just because my issue was that I didn't have enough space in my mouth for the teeth that were in there. So we did have to remove 4 of my premolars, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. So I was left with gaps in those areas throughout the whole entire braces treatment, and even though my teeth had straightened out into place, most of the treatment time was due to the fact that I needed to close those gaps that were in between my teeth. So one thing that I have noticed is that in those gaps where I used to have the premolars, they have shifted ever so slightly, like it is barely noticeable, but that was something that my orthodontist really wanted to concentrate on, was the fact that she really wanted to make sure that my gaps were closed before taking my braces off too early. However, in saying that, I do feel like they have kind of opened up just a little bit, and the way that I noticed that is that I find I will get food stuck in between there. But to be honest, I have no issues when it comes to, you know, flossing it out, whether I use like a dental pick or a dental floss. But for me, yeah, I have noticed that my teeth have moved in that sense. However, have they returned to what they were before? Definitely not. I mean, you guys can tell with my smile. The way that I like to kind of take note of it, let me just use the reflection in my phone real quick. So when I smile, right, I always like to make sure that the gap in between my 2 top teeth and my 2 bottom teeth line up. Like, you'll see the middle part, it lines up, and as long as those are like aligned, for me personally, I don't know about other people, but that's something that I noticed my orthodontist took note of whenever I went in for adjustments and checkups. She would always make sure that that midline was centered, and even to this day, I'll like check in the mirror and I'll have a look and be like, okay, yep, looks like everything's all good. But aside from that, I don't think my teeth have shifted that much, and I definitely put that down to the fact that I wear my retainer religiously. So it's important to note that it is really important to follow the instructions of your orthodontist and wear your retainers as directed. For me personally, I only have to wear them in the evening, so I'm the type of person where I've developed that habit where I can't sleep without them in. And I know some people find frustration in thinking like, well, I had my braces on for X amount of years, why should I have to continuously wear a retainer for potentially the rest of my life? But the way that I like to look at it, and I have mentioned this in previous braces videos of mine, is that maintaining the straightness of your smile after getting your braces off is much like a skincare routine. We follow that skincare routine to help maintain the look of our skin, and the same goes for our teeth. We follow the routine of putting the retainer in every single night or every single day or whenever you're required to make sure that the straightness of our teeth are maintained. So that is very important. I highly recommend get into the habit of wearing your retainer, because I feel like if you need proof as to whether it works, there's your proof right there. I feel like if I didn't wear my retainer every single night as required, then I probably would have noticed a lot more shifting as opposed to what has actually taken place. But in saying that, I do have 2 permanent wire retainers on the back of my teeth, so one on the top and one on the bottom, so I do feel like that kind of contributes to it as well. However, wearing your retainer is a must. I can't recommend it enough, and I feel like once you develop that habit, it's not something that you really have to consciously put effort to and think about. I also get a lot of questions regarding whether I'm happy with the whole braces journey that I went through. Did I ever regret getting braces, and do I like my smile now? So first things first, I love my smile. I mean, it's not perfect, but I feel like the smile that my orthodontist helped me gain is definitely my smile, and I feel like it fits my face really nicely. So she did an amazing job. Shout out to my orthodontist, because she just, yeah, I mean, I liked my smile before. I've spoken about this in previous videos, but I always had a crooked smile, and it was something that I came to embrace, and I never really paid much attention to it. I wasn't insecure about it. It was just something that I had, and the reason why I got braces is because I decided that I wanted to not have any regrets. So I felt like, you know, I've thought about getting braces in the past, but it was never something that I really dove into. So I just figured, you know what, let's do it. I don't want to get to the age where I'm like 50 or 60 years old and regret like, damn, I wish I got braces when I was younger. So for those of you guys who don't know, I am 29 years old. So I did get braces a little later than most people. Most people get braces when they are teens, but for myself, I did get braces on when I was 25, I think. 25? Yeah, 25 or 26, I can't remember, but I did get them on a lot later than most people. Most people get them on when they're teenagers, but I unfortunately did not have that opportunity. So the fact that I was able to get them at the age that I am now, I feel like I have been able to have more responsibility when it comes to them, and also value them more, in the sense that these were something that I paid for myself. My parents obviously didn't pay for them, and I felt like had I got them when I was younger, perhaps I wouldn't have been so pedantic when it came to wearing my retainers and brushing my teeth regularly and flossing them and making sure that I was doing everything I can to help with the whole process. So that's why I don't have any regrets when it comes to getting braces, and yeah, I definitely am very happy with the way that my teeth look now. One of the #1 comments that I get on any of my braces videos is that people are genuinely scared to get braces. Now, I can understand why people may be scared, and I think for a lot of older people who may be thinking about getting braces, but then they think like, I'm too old, or I'm gonna have to wear them for a few years and I'm gonna be this age until I get them off. You have to kind of think about it in a way that you should just do it now, because the time is going to pass regardless. So if you're here at the age of say 25 and you think, well, I have to have braces on for 3 years, I'm gonna be 28 by the time I get them off, like, I don't know if I can do that. Just think about it like the time is going to pass anyway. You're going to reach that age anyway, so why not get them on now? Why not start the process now? So yeah, that's why I don't have any regrets getting them at the age that I did. I feel like it definitely allowed me to value them more, and I couldn't be happier with the way everything turned out. Another question that I get asked a lot is, do I regret getting braces, traditional braces, as opposed to Invisalign? Because as we all know, there are a lot of technology advances out there on the market today which allow you to straighten out your teeth without the invasion of having the process show out so publicly, if that makes sense. So of course we've got things like Invisalign, where it's an invisible, well, essentially an invisible tray that you slip in and slip out and change out every few weeks, and that straightens out your teeth in that way. So do I regret getting traditional silver braces as opposed to Invisalign? And my answer is definitely no. I don't have any regrets to that. I never once regretted it after getting my braces on. I never sat there and was like, damn, I really wish I didn't get these. I wish I got Invisalign. I had already had it set in my mind that I wanted to have the traditional metal braces experience, and that shocked a lot of people. It definitely shocked my orthodontist as well. She's like, I wouldn't have picked you for the type of person to go with the traditional metal braces, but hey, let's go with it. Why not? And I'm definitely happy that I did. I feel like it also encourages other people to not be embarrassed or shy about having braces on. Braces are nothing to be embarrassed about. There is absolutely nothing wrong about getting braces on. So I definitely did not have any regrets when it came to getting traditional braces over Invisalign. My ultimate defining fact of that as to why I chose braces as opposed to Invisalign was because I didn't want to have the responsibility of having to remember to take my Invisalign in and out as needed. I felt like with braces, they're put on there, set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about, you know, changing them out all the time. I feel like I would be the type of person, even though I'm good at creating habits, I could potentially forget to put my Invisalign in one night, or I could forget to wear it one day, or I could forget to bring it with me when I go to work or something. So I felt like, you know what, if I'm gonna do this process of getting my teeth fixed and getting my teeth and smile straightened out, let's just go with the traditional route. Forget the Invisalign, as much as it is a great thing to have. I mean, Invisalign is awesome because of the fact that you can really fix your smile and straighten it out without having it be shown, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going with that process and you wouldn't even notice it, right? But for me, I just felt like it wasn't something that I wanted to have responsibility over, if that makes sense. I have also heard stories from people saying that they have been going through their Invisalign treatments for a lot longer than projected because of that fact, because they did forget to change out their Invisalign as directed. They didn't wear it when they were supposed to, so rather than having it for a year, they're left with it 3 years later. So that's why I just decided to stick with traditional braces, and I do not regret it at all. As I mentioned to you guys, I am all about wearing your retainer. I feel like I'm a big advocate when it comes to that. I'm always telling people to wear your retainer, because then you won't have a relapse and you won't have to go back to potentially getting braces again, which I know a lot of people may think like, well, I've gone through having my braces, why would they ever move back? Like, they're already straight. Now, if you think about getting your teeth straightened, right, there's that constant pressure on your teeth. So there's constantly that barrier there that's holding them into place. Especially when we go into those appointments where we get our braces tightened or adjusted, you will feel the tension on that straight away. So once you take that away, your teeth will naturally kind of relax a little bit. They might not go back all the way to what they were before, like, let's say they're straight like this, they're not gonna spread out and go back to the way they were before, especially if you have a wire on the back of them that's kind of holding them in place. But there is the potential there for them to move, because if you think about it, for my case, let's use my case as an example. I had a crooked smile for about 25 years of my life. So 3 years as opposed to 25 years of something that's been set in place. Yes, it is going to fix it, but naturally our teeth are going to want to shift and move into a position that's more comfortable for them, because the braces are there to put them in the desired position, but naturally our body doesn't always want to follow that, right? So that's why our teeth tend to shift and move, and it may not be be super noticeable. For some people, their teeth really do revert back to the way that they were. I have talked to people and heard stories about like their teeth are straight and then they go back to being crooked afterwards. So it really is up to every different person, but that's why I'm so heavy on the wear your retainer. Like I'm always telling people, wear your retainer if you want to save money, if you want to keep your smile looking the way that it does as to when you got your braces off. You want to keep them looking like that, you gotta wear your retainer. Now for me, my retainer, I actually went in and had a 1-year post braces checkup a couple of weeks ago, and basically what they did was just check up on my teeth, have a look at my smile, and also check to see whether my wire retainers at the back needed any adjusting. Now I think some of the glue had worn off one section, so they did kind of top that up a little bit just to make sure that it wouldn't pop off anytime in the near future. But I didn't have any issues with the fixed retainer. However, with my regular retainers, I do have one for the top and one for the bottom. What I didn't notice prior to going to my appointment was that I actually have a hole in my retainers, especially the top, because what I've noticed is that, you know, I do sleep with these in every single night, and I guess I am the type of person that bites down on my teeth as I sleep. So I have actually grinded a hole into one of the teeth on my retainers. So I didn't even notice it at first till I was checking them over the morning of my appointment, and then I was like, what is that tiny speck? And I realized that it was a hole. Now when we went into my appointment, I showed them and they were like, okay, that's nothing too crazy to be worried about, but let's make you a new retainer just in case. So I do have a new top retainer. We did go ahead and do a mold that day as well, and they created me a new retainer and sent it out. As you guys can see, this one's all nice and shiny and brand new, and this one's like frosted because I have brushed it so many times throughout the entire year that I've had it. But also one thing that I didn't notice is that I do have a little split along the top here. So I'm very careful when it comes to putting my retainer in and taking it out, but I guess natural wear and tear does occur. So one thing that she did mention to me was just, you know, be sure that when you're taking your retainer out, make sure that you're pulling it down from both sides and not just one side where it can potentially crack, which I think is what has happened to mine. So yeah, I haven't worn the new one just yet, but I'll probably start wearing it this week. I mean, this one is still functional and I can still use it. She did tell me to keep it, but I did have to get a new one made just in case, because obviously I'm not going there on the regular. But for the most part, my retainers have definitely been doing their job, and that is why I highly recommend you guys to wear your retainers all the time. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I have to update you guys on when it comes to being without my braces for 1 year. I can't believe that it's been a year already. I mean, like I mentioned in the beginning, I got my tops off first in October and I got my bottoms off later on in January, but it just doesn't feel like it was that long ago since I had braces in. I mean, it feels like I just had them on a couple of months ago, but it's already been 1 year. So the journey went by really quickly. As I said, I did have my braces on for about 3 years, which does sound like a long time, but honestly the time flew by and it wasn't something that I really paid too much attention to. It wasn't like I was aching to get them off every single day. I did have my moments, but for the most part I really did embrace the journey and I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, I hope you guys found this update helpful. To those of you guys who do have braces and maybe getting them off soon, or if you're going through the same thing and you have had braces and you've got them off, comment down below, let me know what your thoughts and experiences are from your own point of view. But regardless, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and also subscribe to my channel. If you're still here at the end watching and you're not yet subscribed, be sure to hit the little red button down below before you go and click the bell as well so you don't miss any more videos that I post. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I do respond to every single comment that I get, whether it just be to say what's up, or if you want to ask me a question, or if you want to vent about having your braces, feel free to comment down below. I will reply and also help those of you guys out who have genuine questions and concerns when it comes to braces. I'm not a professional, but I'm here to give you guys advice from my own point of view and experience. So yeah, comment down below if you guys need any of that. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. I hope you're staying safe, looking after yourselves and looking out for each other, and I will see you all in my next video.